Hello everyone and welcome back to another What If. Today we're going to be switching it up a little bit. We're going to do something to do with this venture camp. Now, I don't think I've seen anyone do this, so I'm just going to do it because, I think it'd be fun. Ranking where I think each non-all-star would place in all-stars. Alright, yeah, so I'm just going to jump into it. I don't really know what I'm going to do, so let's just get started. So, obviously, well, if we're to start it, we have to think of the teams. So for Carol, I'm gonna say she goes on to the side. Oh, actually, I'm gonna say that she actually goes on to the magenta team. Now, because of that, she's with James. And so that first argument, I wouldn't say is going to be between James and Jake, and instead Carol and James. I think the James and Jake stuff will come later. So, not a great start, but I would probably say that Carol would have been the first route of this season. So, we move on to Dan. Now, Dan, I'm going to put him onto the Cyan team so he can be with Gabby. And, well, he's not a big fan of Ellie, but And then I think he likes Tom, so in the Lakes elimination, I wouldn't say he's gonna rock the boat, so he's safe for Lakes elimination. Then, the next Cyan Team elimination comes in episode 8, doesn't it? Yeah, when Ellie gets booted. So I think that if anything, Dan's gonna be even more wanting to go for Ellie, so he's definitely safe there. And yep. So episode 9, task elimination. I think no, this is the thing, is that Dan is close with Gabby, but not as close with Ellie. So Gabby wouldn't expect Dan to vote with them as much as he did Tess. So Dan's still safe. And then because of that, that's the last one before the merger. That makes it merge. I would say he's survived. Does he? No. He's a positive figure, so he'll be a part of the heroes. Ashley still gets voted out. And instead of it being Tom, I think it's going to be Dan that replaces Tom in the tiebreaker situation. So because of that, Dan, I would say, loses for Gabby and comes 10th. All right, Maggie. Now I'm going to put her onto the yellow team because I've done the other two. And for Maggie, I would say that she is probably going to make it past the Miriam elimination because even though you'll really hate Maggie, Miriam needs to go and you'll probably be forced into it. But the Connor elimination, I see that she'll be ahead of Connor because Rhea and Alec both like Connor. You'll hate Maggie, so that means she's the easy vote off. So she's where Connor was eliminated. For Kai, I'm going to put him onto the magenta team. He is probably going to vote Fiore with Hunter and Ali. So he's safe on that first one. He then, next time they go to elimination, is in episode 5. Yeah, when Hunter gets eliminated. So in that one, right, I think that Hunter, Ali, and Kai, they probably work together and they're going to vote for Fiore. So Kai's safe here because they're still going to vote for Hunter. So Magenta then lose again. When do they lose again? They lose in episode 7. And I think Kai will be in for voting Fiore because this time they actually do it. So he's safe there. Magenta don't lose again, so he makes it into the merge. He's a positive figure, so I think he's still out before Ashley. No, after Ashley. And so he makes it past that. He'll then make it He makes it past Ashley, and just like Dan, he's probably the most positive figure. Oh, actually, no. Him and Yule, I kind of forgot. Yeah, so I'm gonna go on what I did. Instead of Ashley getting voted out, Kai and Yule, they have a big feud as soon as the merge starts. So Kai comes into 11th, next to Maggie as well, but that was on purpose. Right, Lil. I'm gonna say Lil gets put onto the magenta team, even though that's my third one now, but it doesn't matter. On the magenta team, she definitely does not get done in the James elimination. She's safe there. Then in the next elimination, episode 5, she's going to be with Ashley and Jake. So she's going to vote with Hunter, so she's safe there because they're still voting Fiore. Oh, well, she doesn't like Fiore, so I don't know, but she'll still do it because Ashley's doing it. Then episode 7, she's voting out Fiore just like everyone else, so she's safe there. That's their last elimination, so she also makes it into the merge. And she is going to be put as yeah, so I actually think what's gonna happen is that Ashley still goes, but I think Tom is still gonna be put out ahead of Lil because Lil, not a lot of people like her actually. I don't know how much, like, I don't know. She's just a bit odd. I don't know if everyone would like her. So unlike where Dan got put, I think that she's actually going to go one place further, but then she's going to go because they still need all the strong figures. And Lil and Connor together, that will not be a good pairing because I reckon they'll actually get along really well. So they need to split up one of them. Connor would still have immunity at this point, I think. So Lil's the one to go for. All right, Drew. Now, I know that in my thumbnail, it is kind of he's placed highly, but really, I'm going to put him on the Cyan team. He's probably not going to go far. The first Cyan team elimination, I do think he's managed to get by because with all the drama going on with the girls, Drew's probably just going to vote with Tom and Aiden. And even though that technically would mean that the vote is different, Drew is safe, so we can just move on. Then, next time they lose a challenge, that's when Ellie's eliminated in episode 8. And I do again think that he's going to be with Aiden and Tom the whole time, so he's safe there because they're going to vote for Ellie, and that's 4 votes. Episode 9, again, Gab is still going to target Tess with the villains, so Drew's safe there. And so that means that Drew actually makes it into the merge. Now that is odd. I did not think that would be the case. Yeah, I was really not thinking he would make it into the merge whatsoever, but I guess he does. So because of that, I think that he is probably, well, because he doesn't talk, he's going to be part of the heroes, but he's probably the weakest link and the one they want to keep around the longest just because of how little he can actually do. And so because of that, he doesn't get voted out when Ashley does. He doesn't get voted out when Tom does. He doesn't get voted out. Well, actually, yeah, wait, just making sure. Yeah, he wouldn't get voted out in the superhero episode. I would still be Yule. And actually, because of that, I'm actually going to move Lil one place over to 8th because I forgot Yule's drama in that one. So Lil's 8th, actually, and Dan's 10th. So Drew is probably going to. I don't know who would be placed within the challenge, but if it's like Aiden or something, I think it would be someone like Aiden, someone that talks a lot, someone that doesn't talk. So I think it would be Aiden. Aiden's probably able to carry that team, so he makes it to at least 7. And then in that one, who goes is Aiden. Drew is probably, yeah, Ali won't target Drew, she'll still target Aiden. So he makes past that. And Gret would not want to target Drew. I mean, she targeted Drew last in her first season, but that was just to stop from getting voted out. So Drew makes it past that. So just because of how bad of a player he actually will be, because he's weak and he can't talk, Drew's actually made it to the final five. Now, in that final five, I do think that Gret is tried to bond with Drew, and because of that, I think she's actually connected with him. I do think he's not making it to the final though, so I'm actually gonna say that he comes fourth. And if I'm 100% honest, when I made the thumbnail, I did not think he was making it that far. But he is just going to be dragged along, I think. And eventually they only vote him just in case as a jury, because apart from that, they're not going to need him as a threat. So, Oliver. Now, I do think that Oliver would. Now, this is what I was thinking with Oliver, is that I'm going to say he's on the magenta team. Or not, actually, no, the yellow team. Now, I think he's actually going to quit. Now, that's odd, I know. But I think after he sees the magenta team loses, and I don't know if he is much connected, but I think he sees how the team is struggling without him, the interns and that. And I think because of that, he's actually going to quit in a last place because he does not want his team to, he doesn't want the staff to struggle. So he's going to quit so he can help them. All right. Will. Now, I'm going to say he's now going to go onto the magenta team as well. With that, he's with Ashley, meaning he's definitely going to survive the James. He's going to survive Hunter. I think he will. He's going to survive Fiore, so he as well makes it into the merge. And so with that, him and Ashley, they're going to be really close. And I feel like what's going to happen is that after Ashley gets voted out, Will's going to be all like back to it, because I feel like the whole thing in this season will be like Ashley helping Will become not afraid and stuff. And once Ashley leaves, I feel like you go back to a heap of mess again. And so because of that, I think everyone's trying to take advantage of him and kind of use him. So I think he makes it past the I think he makes it past episode 13 at least. In the TikTok challenge, I do think he's going to just make it, but I believe episode 7 is where he's gonna go, because well, actually no, he'd probably win immunity there. So no, episode 6 I think is the one that I'm gonna say he. Well, actually no, because again, oh, actually, no. Yeah, I think that might be better because Gret sees Will as a threat physically, I think, even though he's a mess. And Will, he's not in any of the major conflicts, so him and Alec are threats to Gret. But because of Will's strength, I think he's going to go into 6th. All right, this is good so far. So, Nick. Nick, I think I'm going to put him onto the Cyan team. I would say he survives the lake vote. He's probably going to get involved with it, definitely, but I think he survives lake. I think he might get votes, but I think he definitely survives. So because of that, then we go to the episode 8, and that to me, I think. So Ali gets voted out. Tess, I don't know. I think Nick would throw a stray vote onto Aiden, but I think he'd still be safe. Episode 9, I think he's actually going to find what Gabby does really good, but he's going to tell Gabby he wants to vote for Aiden. But I don't think he's going to get voted out here, because I have a feeling Nick and Gabby actually get along a bit because Nick's impressed or something. So that means that they make it into the merge. Nick, I say, he's gonna be like an anti-hero. He's not on one side or the other. He just enjoys the chaos. So he'll be on his own with no reason for either of them to really vote him out. All they'll try to do is try to get him on their side. But because of that, he survives episode 10, he survives episode 12, he survives episode 13, I think he survives episode 14, he survives episode 15, and at this point, I think he's going to have chosen a side, and I think the side's going to be the villains? Yeah, no, he's still going to be an anti hero. He's not. Well, does Gret vote out Nick? No, I don't think she does. I think she'd rather get rid of. Oh, actually, no, because. Oh, no, Nick starts conflict. He'll want to stay around over Alec. I think, though, is that immediately after, I don't know what the next episode is going to be. I think Ali and Jake, they're still going to be voting for each other, but I think on that episode, like one of the two are getting. No, it'll probably be Rhea, but then after Rhea, Ali and Jake, they're going to vote for each other. So I think Nick, I think he's voted out in third. I don't know who the three will be. Well, probably going to be like Jake, Connor, and him. Well, technically, no, he'd be voted out in fourth. And then everyone else would be moved up a place technically, but I'm just going to say he's voting out in third. But that's obviously without the extra person. But anyway, we continue. Ros Maria. Now, I actually think that if she was actually in this season, she would make it so far. I'm going to say she's on the magenta team. She 100% makes it past James' elimination. Although, I think she's going to try tell James to vote Fiore. And then Fiore's probably going to leave. But then, well, no, I won't say that. I'll just keep it the same. She survives the James elimination 100%. Survives Hunter. Well, yeah, They would. Then they survive Fiore. So that puts her through to the merge. And Ashley is going to be the target still. Well, her or Rosa. I think Ashley still gets targeted though. Then episode 12, even though Ros Maria is like the team player and probably really agrees with Connor's speech, I think Connor and Tom actually go ahead of her in the threats. So because of that, I think Tom still gets voted out. Episode 13 still gonna be Yule. Ros Maria's not a fan of Yule. I would say she makes it past the TikTok challenges. Episode 15, she makes it past Aiden because I don't think Jake and Ros Maria will have a better connection than Jake and Aiden. So she makes it past there. I do think that she in sixth, there is a chance she gets voted out, but I think Grat is going to still want to go for Alec. But that might not be right. That could be wrong. Actually, no, that is wrong. I would say that she's going to come in sixth. So because of that, she goes there. And just because I don't want there to be no winner on this list, of everyone here, the most likely winner is Nick. So I think that's going to be my rankings. So Oliver and Caro both in last, Maggie in 14th, Kai in 11th, Dan in 10th, Lil in 9th, Will and Ros Maria both in 6th, Drew in 4th, and Nick in 1st. Now, when I was starting this, I did not expect to see Drew up here, Will. I expected Carol and that to be low down, but overall, this is not what I expected going into this. But anyway, if you want more Dispatch Camp content, I will do so if you let me know in the comments. So, see you later, and goodbye.